Holler at me, man.
Later, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's Main Boxing Biker. Now, straight to the point, man. Let's talk about the fights we saw last night. We saw Caleb Plant do his thing in this fight. He looked good in his homecoming fight, rightfully so. Sweet Hands looked sweet in the ring, doing his thing, man. Styling and wilding on the opponent, did his thing, got his win. But the main topic of this video, man, is referee Jack Reiss. I am tired and tired. I'm sick and tired of seeing Jack Reiss in these fights where he's making these disgusting, horrible calls. This man made one of the calls last night that really pissed me off. Just like he did in the Wilder fight. He did some BS in the Wilder versus Fury fight. And I mean, the same way Wilder had Fury out on the canvas, they could have jumped in and waved it off the same way they waved off the Danny Jacobs versus P-Rock fight when Danny Jacobs fell to the ground. The referee held Jacobs on the ground even while Jacobs was trying to get up. The ref held him on the ground and waved it off. It was like, nah, even though Jacobs was winning the fight. Now, we had Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder and referee Jack Reiss, which is, to me, a corrupted referee due to the fact that he even mentioned, and that's to show how cocky he is, that they won't do anything about it. He came out and he mentioned that he was heavily invested in Fury and in Fury winning because he liked Fury's story. The fact that Fury came back from, goddamn, these sirens in the background, man. This shit remind me of 78 Sports TV. Every time he make a video, there's sirens in the background. Here goes my sirens. But nah, it was Brooklyn here. But it's always sirens. But yeah, back to the point though. So, we saw this man get dropped, but, I mean, back to the, forget that. Referee Jack Reiss said that he was heavily invested in Tyson Fury because of his story, because of his comeback story, battling addiction, all that extra stuff, and coming back from it. Hey, there was a lot of addiction problems, plus there was also a lot of drug problems in Tyson Fury's history. People forget, due to the fact that he secretly bowed out of boxing after the Klitschko fight. There was all kind of drugs involved in that fight too. He wasn't just on a drug binge after the fight. This man tested dirty, but they let that blow over like they do in the UK, man. They let it blow over after a while and hope people forget about it. You feel me? You gotta wait years to get a verdict, and that's messed up, and that's corruption, and that's corruption in boxing. Same thing with Jack Reiss. We got Jack Reiss sitting here not waving off the fight when Fury was on the ground, groaning, moaning, making all kind of weird sounds, eyes rolling in the back of his head, flat out, laid out. Slow ass count. Let's not forget the count was hella slow. Oh, walk to your left, walk to your right, come back to me. Fury holding on his shoulders and all that. You're not even supposed to hold on the referee's shoulder. Fury holding his shoulder to get balance, all kind of crazy shit. But he wanted to let that go. Why? Like he said, for the love of the sport of boxing. Alright, so where was the love of the sport of boxing for Perella last night? Perella was winning the fight. Last round, he got clipped with a beautiful uppercut that he ain't see coming. And he got dropped. But guess what? The man wasn't on the floor laid out like Tyson Fury, groaning, eyes rolling and shit. The man got up. What you did? You waved it off. Now, a lot of people give this BS excuse that referees, oh, you know, he probably didn't know there was only 1 second left in the fight. You know, all this. Yo. If you watch boxing, you would know the answer to that question. From the time there's 10 seconds left in the round, you hear the sound, the clicking sound, like a gavel. Now, also, the referee be ready right then and there to count down in his head 10 seconds to make sure nobody's punching after the round or to stop them and be like, end the round. And send them to their neutral corners, to their corner. You feel me? What he didn't do was Well, what he didn't do was pay attention. Well, I guess people are trying to say he didn't pay attention to the gavel hitting to let him know there's 10 seconds left in the fight. There's no excuse for this. That man got up. He followed your commands, and you still waved it off with 1 second left. To me, at this point, Jack Reiss has shown us everything we need to know. He showed us that he's corrupt. He showed us he don't give a crap what we say. And boxing is consistently and continually showing us that they don't give a crap about what we think about the sport. They're going to keep who they want in there as their people, and that's it. They have corrupt judges, they have corrupt referees, they got all kind of BS going on in the sport, corrupt commissioners, and they're allowing it. So what do we do at this point? Maybe we need to boycott some of these referees. Maybe we need to put a real strict boycott on boxing until there's some type of overseer in the sport, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm tired of seeing fighters spend their life training, spend a lot of money in training camps, giving away time from their family, giving part of their brain cells away to the sport, and then they could mess around and get robbed in a fight. They could mess around and get screwed out of a fight, and all that training and all that down the drain because you took an L. And we know how boxing treat fighters that take an L nowadays. They try to throw them in the back of the bus. Like, oh, like everything you did don't matter no more because you took an L. The old days probably was better in boxing. But gosh, man, Jack Reiss needs to go. This man has made about 4 disgusting calls recently. From what we know, from what we've seen. And who knows how many more messed up calls he made in the past. He needs to be out of boxing. They got people like Adelaide Bird being referees. Adelaide Bird never fought a day in her life. She don't even understand what she's watching. Adelaide Bird wear trifocal glasses, bruh. Look at her face. It looks like she's looking at the bottom of a freaking bottle. She got googly eyes like you look into a fish tank. You really think she know what she's seeing? She doesn't. Boxing always got these weird people being judges, man. A judge will be a scientist or an astronaut. Oh, a firefighter. Oh, a freaking biologist. A freaking teacher. A guidance counselor. A principal. These are the people that make referees. These are the people that they make judges. These are people that never probably even seen a fight to understand what they're looking at. You cannot tell me Adelaide Bird know what she's looking at when she see fights, man, when she watch boxing. How do you have Canelo beating Floyd Mayweather when Canelo barely even touched Floyd Mayweather an entire fight? But there's a judge that got Canelo winning that fight, and the sport of boxing still allow this person to still be a judge? Now that's corruption, because they want to keep a person like that to be the fall guy or fall gal. Where they can just be like, oh, well, you know, they always see boxing differently, and allow that person to make a bad call that could probably ruin someone's career. That could make a fight a draw, or that can make a person lose a fight. You feel me? Imagine one of the other judges had Mayweather losing that fight too, being corrupt just like Adelaide Bird. What would have happened? Canelo would have got the win, even though Canelo didn't touch him. Now, who oversees that? Now, what if all the judges happen to say one day they don't like a particular fighter, and that fighter clearly wins the fight, won every round, and the judges decide, we don't care, we're going to give it to this person. Now, what happens? Who go, and the entire audience, the entire boxing community is saying, no, you're giving it, your judges say that man A won the fight, we think man B won the fight. Everyone in the world thinks man B won the fight. But because these 3 little judges decide that they want to give it to man A, who can overturn that? Who overturns that? And how often we seen it overturned? That's why these judges have too much power. These judges have too much power, and it's corrupt. It's corruption within. Jack Reiss needs to go. Adelaide Bird needs to go. They need to make the judges ex-fighters that are non-biased, or fighters that are not involved or have any type of favoritism for the most part. And when I say that, I mean like a fighter that is not part of a training camp or teammates or family or anything with one of the fighters that's fighting. They need to make those guys judges because they understand the sport. They understand what they're looking at. Most sports make their judges and stuff like that, or the announcers or the ex-players of the sport. But boxing, no. One of the most brutal sports. You're gonna make it so that a person that don't understand what they're watching be a judge. I watch fights with my lady all the time. Sometimes she'll be like, oh, he didn't touch him. I'm like, how's he on the ground? The punch will happen so fast, the untrained eyes don't see it. The untrained eyes won't see it. Sometimes the untrained eyes can't see a person building up points, a person wearing the other person down. Sometimes the untrained eye will see a punch get thrown and it's clearly blocked and they'll score it as it landed just because the person threw it and it hit a part of the person's body. But it could have hit the arm where they block it with the glove, the forearm. But it still counts in the untrained eye's point of view. Boxing is too corrupt. We need to make a change. We need to change ASAP. Jack Reiss need to go. Anyways, Main Boxing Bike, I'm out. Talk nice to me though.